It's getting harder and harder for software companies to get loans. Banks are getting cold feet. But why is this happening? Because we're in a modern day gold rush. There are hundreds of billions of dollars being poured into AI and infrastructure. Everyone is trying to build out the next big software platform. So you would think that the greed would get these banks excited to offer better rates, especially since the Fed has lowered interest rates 3 consecutive times. Well, the reason why this is happening, in my opinion, is because of AI. It's because of AI, guys. And before you say, Mark, again, we're seeing billions of dollars pouring into AI. Well, the reality here is that banks are concerned about the potential for returns, and it's just gotten out of control. We covered this in a video a few weeks ago where we talked about Oracle potentially laying off tens of thousands of employees so they could free up capital to pour into AI because the cost of taking out debt just keeps increasing. The reality, guys, is that banks hate uncertainty. They hate uncertainty. I don't know if you're a Game of Thrones fan, but in the Game of Thrones, they have this Iron Bank. And the Iron Bank there says that, well, they don't make bets. They invest money where they expect the winner to be. Where they know the winner is going to be, that's where they put the money. And the more volatility, the greater the uncertainty, well, the higher the risk and the less likely they are to lend. And the reality is we have tons and tons of uncertainty. And you don't just need to take my word for it. You don't need to look that far. If you look at the S&P 500 software index, it's down 20% this year and 30% since October of 2025. And what's interesting when you look at the chart of what's happening is the S&P 500 itself has increased, but the software index is decreasing because we don't know what the hell is going to happen with AI, guys. That's the reality. I got a quote here from Jeremy Burton. He's a portfolio manager at PineBridge Investments. He says, quote, "I don't really see software and business services as being hot sectors for issuance over the next year. The technology is changing so quickly that you've really got to be confident." And one question that we're seeing here on a smaller scale is what does SaaS even look like a year from now? Personalized AI software is becoming a reality. It's becoming so cheap to write code right now that it creates the Wild West. You have AI agents creating tons and tons of software almost instantly. Just over the past week, and I covered this in a video, we had this software OpenClaw, this AI agent OpenClaw, this AI framework rather, it's more of a framework that connects all these different softwares together, completely changed the way we look at the potential for software. We saw this software create its own social media platform in just a couple of days. It's called Moltbook. And these AI agents created Moltbook for AI agents in just a few days. And it's completely crazy. We covered that in a video. I'll post a link to it here. And even just yesterday, we shared, it's so volatile. We shared this story about an AI agent essentially selling or giving away all of this guy's cryptocurrency just because somebody on X asked. So we've got AI agents writing software almost instantly. We've got AI agents being completely unpredictable, liquidating an owner's crypto account, started hiring humans to do random tasks, and again, all by trolling people on X and just making these insane comments on X. It's just a crazy time. We got programs like Devin, Claude AI, Replit. Has anyone out there created software with Replit? I've created some software. I'm seeing some interesting things there. It's pretty nuts. They're just writing millions of lines of code, these AI agents, and we really don't know where it's going to stop. And that's the reality, guys. We don't know how software is going to look over the coming years. There's a lot of CRMs, for example. There's a lot of software out there that has tons and tons of feature that nobody uses. And at the end of the day, what are people going to do? Well, they're going to use AI and AI agents to write smaller scale software. And just for specific purposes. I was watching the CEO of Replit talking, and he mentioned that their woman in HR, I don't know if her name was Karen or not, but she was in HR, and she ended up writing a software using Replit specific to one task that she had. On top of this, guys, the price to earning ratios for some of these big tech companies are absolutely out of control. And price to earnings is a stock valuation metric that basically shows how much investors are willing to pay for each dollar of a company's earnings. And the forward price to earnings ratio for software and services index, again, fell 22.7 times. Now, here's the deal. The normal price to earnings ratio is somewhere between 10 to 25 times. Well, some of these Mag 7 price to earnings ratios are insane. Amazon's at 31x, Nvidia 46x, Microsoft 31x, Tesla 400x. I post a video where we go into more detail on that, but it's actually crazy. And then on top of this, the reality is here, I don't even think that the new generation of software companies actually need these insane amounts of capital to scale up. there are a ton of small AI companies that are in startup mode. And I know a handful of these guys, you're able to be really, really streamlined when creating software these days. Again, because AI makes it so easy to write code. You can go to market a lot faster. You can test way faster. You can stay lean. You could be results focused. You could be conversion centered. I don't know if you guys have ever seen these videos of people getting jobs, these girls at tech companies where they show up at 9 a.m., they have a nice breakfast at the buffet, they have a Zoom meeting, which they complain about, then they have a nice lunch at their buffet, then they get to play Roblox for a couple hours, then they grab a snack, then they have another meeting, and then they head home. Like that, the reality is that some of these big tech companies have so much bloat. Have you ever seen a video like that? Post a link below, because I see those from time to time, and I'm just shocked that that's the way that these people work. And listen, I do marketing for a startup SaaS company right now, and we run a ton of experiments, but we think about how all of our dollars are spent. Every dollar is accounted for. Even just running $1,000 ad campaign, we want to make sure we go into it with a strategy. What are we expecting? What's our expected return on investment? How much are we going to spend? Where are we going to get drop off in our funnel? What's our click-through rate? What's our open rate? If we're giving away a free trial offer, what's the lifetime value of that offer versus other? Because we're always experimenting a lot of stuff here, because every dollar matters. And the cool thing about being in the advertising and marketing world is, it's much easier to see if we spend $1 here, we get $2 back there, and we can kind of double down on what works. Regardless, I'm getting off topic here. Regardless, the reality is we have no idea where this AI stuff is going. It is insanely unpredictable. It's just out of control, and we don't know where we're going to be a year from now. I mean, we've been covering big companies laying off tens of thousands of people in order to be more efficient. We're seeing companies just deploy robots at scale. I don't know if you've seen these videos of these Chinese robots. I'll post a video. I'm going to do a video of some of these robots that are happening, but robotics, incredibly impressive. And we just don't know where all this stuff is going. And the banks now are starting to catch up. The banks are starting to question, is the juice worth the squeeze? Are we going to get our return on investment back here? And it's pretty shocking what's happening when you look at the software index fund. It's very shocking. Anyway, the big looming question for me that I see a lot of you guys posting in the comments as well, is this question, is this doom cycle loop. If everyone is getting laid off and replaced by AI, who's gonna have money to actually buy stuff? And I'm not as concerned about this personally. I think that there's gonna be ways for us to accumulate wealth. For me, I wanna remain relevant, respected, and financially free. I'm gonna do that by building relationships, by testing new skills, by being public, by learning and adapting and growing, and trying to grab ownership wherever I can, because it's gonna get harder and harder as time goes on. Anyway, what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this? I mean, if software companies are not getting loans, if there's all this volatility, does that mean there's more opportunities? You know, Warren Buffett says, when everyone is fearful, I get greedy, and when everyone's greedy, I get fearful. It seems like right now is a time where people are fearful. Is now the time to really get in? Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin has just plummeted. Is now the time to be greedy? I don't have the answer for you there, but I think it's worth considering. Guys, if you like the video, smash the like, smash subscribe, and check out yesterday's video where we talk more about AI agents going completely rogue, doing unexpected stuff, and really changing the face of the world as we know. Check out yesterday's video. I'll see you there, boys. Peace.